I'm going to do several things today. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is show off. You guys like to show off, right? You got something neat to show off with. Second thing I'm going to do is teach you some safety. I'm going to make real sure that you understand how to safely operate a yo-yo so you don't break anything, hurt anybody, or get in trouble. And the third thing I'm going to do is use these toys up here on this table, and I'm going to teach you some science. The science we're going to talk about is called gyroscopic stability. Say it with me. Gyroscopic stability. Doesn't mean much now, does it? But after we get done playing with those toys, it's going to mean a lot. Let's see. If you hear something you think is funny, how do you show you thought it was funny? You laugh. That's appropriate, right? If you see something that you appreciate, how do you show your appreciation? You clap. That's appropriate. What's not appropriate is that you're talking to each other, because if you're talking to somebody else, you're being a distraction. So if I ask you a question, you're going to answer me the question, then you're going to get quiet real quick, right? Good, that's the way it works. Okay, what was I going to do first? Show off. Okay, everybody wants to know what this trick is. What is it? Walking the dog. I'm going to teach my dog to do some tricks. Going to have him come back when I call him. Put him down, put him out. Come here, come on, lunchtime. See, he knows when to come back, huh? Did you ever see a dog jump through a hoop? Get my dog to jump through this hoop right here? Yeah? Get him down, get him walking, say, come on. Now, that's what good dogs do. Who can tell me what bad dogs do? They what? Well, that wasn't quite what I was thinking of. Anybody know? That's right, they bite you, don't they? Did you see the dog bite? Huh? See? I only got the pants. Didn't hurt a bit, okay? All right, that was a series of tricks based on an old favorite called Walking the Dog. Now I'm going to do another series based on another old favorite. What's this called? Rock the Baby in the Cradle, right. When you feed the baby, rock the baby, quiet the baby, settle the baby down, what do you have to do next? Burp the baby. This is called rocking the dizzy baby. I don't know where the baby gets dizzy, but I could just watching that. And in this disposable society, you've got to be really careful because you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Gotcha, huh? Okay, let's see. Do your mothers teach you how to eat spaghetti without making a mess? Huh? Mine did. Said you wind the spaghetti up on the fork, put some sauce on it, maybe some Parmesan, and go. Good stuff, huh? Did you see where the yo-yo was aiming? Right at my face, wasn't it? One of the things you need to do in yo-yoing is make real sure that if the yo-yo is up around your face, get your hands up there to protect yourself. I've had bonks on my fingers, bruises on my arms, but around the face, make real sure you get your hands up there because you certainly don't want to get smacked with one of these. It might hurt a little bit. We're going to talk more about safety, but I thought as long as that one was aiming right at my face, I'd go ahead and explain that part of it to you. Okay, we did rock the dog, we did rock the baby. How about we do some picture tricks? Okay? I'll draw some picture with a string. You tell me what it's a picture of. For instance, what's that a picture of? Bow tie. Okay, you understand the game. How about this picture? Star. Is that hard to see in the back row? Tell you what we'll do. Make it Texas size so everybody can see it. And if I make a slight adjustment to that, now what do I have? Say it again. Star of David for our Jewish friends. Very good. I'm impressed. Let's see. I haven't fooled you yet. How about, I bet everybody knows this one. What's that called? Eiffel Tower. Some people call it rocket ship. Both of those are good names. Probably depends on where you learned it. If I turn the yo-yo sideways, turn the tower upside down, what's that spell? No? Yo, yeah. It takes two people to spell yo-yo. Well, you guys are good. Huh. I'm going to have to get a lot tougher. Well, let me try this one. What's that one called? Scissors. You are sharp today, huh? Yeah, go ahead and groan, Moms. That was funny. Oh, let's see. Time to get really tough now. Okay. This one is not a spider web. What's that a picture of? British flag. Boy, very good. You guys were paying attention during geography, huh? If you saw the movie Cool Running, you know that this flag belongs to Jamaica, because they were star of the bobsled competition, weren't they? Huh? Huh. You guys are too good. Let's see. Since I've got a red side on the yo-yo, I can do this flag. Japan. Outstanding. Well, you guys are tough. Let's see. I haven't fooled you yet, though, huh? I know how to do that. What's that a picture of? That's my bikini. Cheated, didn't I? Not fair. Nah, not fair at all. Okay, I'm going to switch yo-yos for a few tricks. This one is called a modified shape. It's a lot like the old Imperial, which had a very narrow string gap. This one is called a butterfly shape. It's the Imperial assembled backwards, so that you have a much larger area where you can land the string and it'll fall into the string gap. Now, both yo-yos will do all of the tricks, but this one will help you learn to do some looping type tricks. This one will help you learn to do the string type tricks. So I'm going to do some string tricks to help explain the difference to you. This one is called, where you put the yo-yo back on the string. It's called a monkey climbing a coconut tree looking for a banana. Were you listening? Can you find a banana in the coconut tree? No, the monkey go hungry, wouldn't he? Actually, the trick started out as elevator. You started in the basement, and you go first floor, second floor, third floor, penthouse. Let's see. Suppose we talk a little about competitions. I do judge yo-yo competitions at all levels, worlds, nationals, regionals, locals, anywhere that somebody wants to get together and compete, I'm ready to judge. I'm on the board of directors of the American Yo-Yo Association. I have a lot of fun with this, I really do. In competitions, though, you want to compete against people with similar skill levels. That means that you've practiced about the same amount, you're doing the same kinds of tricks successfully. So I'm going to do two tricks to show you the difference between a mid-level compulsory and a top-level compulsory, okay? First one's called Brain Twister. Put it down, bring it up, put it up. That ain't it. Do this one first. All right, here we go. Brain Twister. Bring it up, put it on the string, flip it around twice, take it off, and do the dismount. Let's see that again. You turn sideways. Now that you know what you're looking for. The yo-yo down, bring it up, put it on the string, flip it around twice, take it off, and do the dismount. Okay? It's called Brain Twister. It's a mid-level compulsory trick. When you get to the top levels of competition, you need to be doing harder tricks. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to adjust it a little, make it more difficult. Now we'll call it Atom Smasher, because I'm going to mount it from the bottom, and then I'm going to pass it over that finger and over this finger, then flip it around, take it off, and do the dismount. Want to see that one again too, huh? Okay. Here we go. Up from the bottom, over that finger, over this finger, then flip it around, take it off, do the dismount. Okay? Is that cool? Think about the time it takes to practice, to do that over and over consistently. Did you know anything worth doing is worth doing well? Okay, let's see. How about men on the flying trapeze? It's another competition trick. It's where you throw the yo-yo way over there, swing it around here, jump it over your finger, and land it back on the string, right? I hope. Here we go. Yep, there's man on the flying trapeze, and man on the flying trapeze with a somersault, and man on the flying trapeze with a somersault, back flip, over there, down here, back up and on the string like that, huh? Cool. A lot of fun, but it takes a lot of practice. When I did trapeze, it went around my finger once and landed on the string. This one's called double or nothing. Reason is it goes around once, goes around twice, and then lands on the string. If you had missed the string, it would have been nothing. Okay, let's see. Oh, and the man on the flying trapeze also has a rock the baby. Okay, I'm going to switch back to the other yo-yo now. I did this trick, but I didn't tell you what it was. It's called flying saucer. It goes. So you throw it to the right, it twists the string tighter. You throw it to the left, it loosens the string. It goes. Now listen close for this one. It's called shotgun. Didn't hurt a bit. Hit the other yo-yo, not my hand. Because you see, yo-yoing gets a little more interesting when you try and do two at a time. Excuse me, couple of sleepers. Sorry. Couple of whoops, get up here. Couple of walking the dogs. Get up here, don't fight. Some forward passes. Some loop-de-loops. Either hand. You know what I need at this point in the program is actually a volunteer. Look at the hands go up, huh? Not in the glasses right there. You come up and help me? Hi, what's your name? Rich? Mitch. Oh, nice to meet you, Mitch. You ever shaken hands with a yo-yo before? No? You have now, haven't you? What's the first thing you do when you get a yo-yo, Mitch? Oh, first thing is to get the yo-yo, right? Come back here a minute. Pick out a yo-yo. You like that one? Is that a good one? Okay. Now, what's the first thing you do when you get the yo-yo, huh? Put it on your finger. I wish you hadn't said that. Something you got to do, real important. Turn around, Mitch, so they can see your smiley face, okay? Is this? Yeah, it's okay. Let me make sure. Remember, somebody asked me the question earlier about getting the yo-yo started. This one has 2 loops on it. Okay. Now, back to the original question. What do you do when you first get a yo-yo? You don't put it on your finger. You buy it, you open the package, you read the instructions, and then you... No! You have to measure it. See, yo-yo strings come long enough for people my size to play with a yo-yo. If you're going to be playing with this one, you're going to have your hand up here in front of your face or bouncing the yo-yo off your foot. That won't be any fun, will it, Mitch? No, certainly not. So the first thing you do when you get a yo-yo is measure the string, okay? You got a soft spot here? Hard grip, soft spot, right? Point your soft spot. Everybody point your soft spot. What's the muscle there that helps you breathe? Diaphragm. Outstanding. Most people say their lungs, but it isn't. There's a muscle that moves the lungs so that you can breathe. It's called the diaphragm. So point your diaphragm, Mitch. We're going to measure the string from the floor up to the diaphragm. Well, that's where we're going to cut it. I'm going to throw that piece away. Now I'm going to tie a knot in the end of the string. Then I'm going to put a loop on the end of the string. Mitch, do you put your finger in this loop? Say no. Louder so they can hear you. No, do not put your finger in this loop. The reason is it's never the right size. It's either too small, too big, comes roaring off and hurts somebody, breaks something, gets you in a lot of trouble. Mitch, the reason there's a loop at the end of every yo-yo string is so that you can make a slip knot. One size fits all slip knot. See that? You could even get it over your head, couldn't you? You can help the yo-yo, but you could. Which hand do you pick your nose? Right with. Which hand do you write with, Mitch? This hand. We're going to take the middle finger of the hand that Mitch writes with, and we're going to snug that string around that middle finger between the first and second knuckle. Do I have control over your finger, Mitch? Yeah. Sure I do. What that means is Mitch is going to have good control over the yo-yo because now he has got the right amount of string to do the trick safely. When you put the yo-yo on the floor, your hand now comes up to, not the diaphragm, that's where we cut it. And we tie the knot, then a loop, then it comes up to your waist. That's what you're trying to do is get your hand comfortably level at your waist, okay? What happens when you get the knot or the string all tangled up inside the yo-yo? You know? With these yo-yos, what you get to do is unscrew the side, take it apart, and untangle all the knots and all the string. Get that all settled out. And you can see here, see how that's hollow around the outside? Perimeter weighted. Doesn't mean anything now, but when we play with those toys, it will. At the end of the string, you've got this little wooden axle. Had a wood axle on yo-yos when I grew up. Of course, the whole yo-yo was wood then. But what we do now is take that wood axle, put it on that metal shaft, put the other side of the yo-yo on, give it a spin. Now, don't grab both sides and over-tighten it, okay? Give me your other hand. This is your yo-yo hand, this is your other hand. Don't get them confused. We're going to take the flat of your hand, put the flat of the yo-yo, and when it spins, that's tight enough. Spin it around there on your hand. That's all the tighter you want to make it, okay? Now what do we do? Huh? Yeah, wind it up, right? Show me the motion you guys use for a pencil sharpener. Over the top, away from you if you're right-handed, huh? Over the top, left-handed, or over the top towards you if you're left-handed. But we got a more fun way to do this, right? Sure? Come here, Mitch. Told you I had control over that finger, didn't I? We're going to put the yo-yo on the floor, start walking backwards. Keep walking. Get your hand all the way down. All the way down. Grab the yo-yo. Way to go, Mitch, huh? Come here. Now, we got the string all wound up on the yo-yo. String's on the finger with a slip knot. It's the right length. The first time you do something with anything, you want to see how is it going to work? What's it going to do, right? Can you do nothing? I bet you we can do nothing pretty good. Watch this. We're going to let go of the yo-yo and do nothing. You ready? Look at that. Comes back halfway all by itself. The reason is there's 2 loops of string around the axle. This yo-yo comes with 2 loops of string so that it does not sleep yet. Okay? 2 loops. This one has a single loop of string so that the axle can spin inside of that single loop. If you want these yo-yos to do exactly the same, you take that second loop off, and then they will work exactly the same. But when you're first starting out, you want to figure out how it's going to work, get good control of it first. So you leave that double loop on, and by the way, all of this is explained on the trick sheet. We got it to come back halfway all by itself. Let's figure out how to get it the rest of the way, okay? Everybody put your hand up in front of your face. Say the words, do the actions. Push, pull, push, pull. See how slow that is? See how smooth? It's not a push jerk, is it, Mitch? Huh? No. What you're trying to do is keep the yo-yo directly underneath your hand. You push it down, pull it up, and catch it. Nice and smooth, nice and slow. Push, pull, catch. Can you do that? Go ahead. Push, pull, catch. Excellent. You've done this before, haven't you? Do it again. Push, pull, catch. That trick. Oh, keep it going. Don't stop it. See, keep it going. Get it all the way back up there. Then catch it. There you go. This trick is called the gravity pull. Push it down, pull it up, and catch it. If you don't catch it, do this, Mitch. Do this. Go ahead. Keep it going. Don't catch it. Don't catch it. Let it hit your hand or not. Keep it going. When it gets to the bottom, you give it that pull. Good. This is called the dribble. And you see who's learned to control their yo-yo best by who's learned to control their yo-yo the best by who can dribble the longest. Good. Now give it a catch. Wait, pull, wait, pull. Then give it a catch. If you're having trouble with the catch, what you can do is bring your other hand up underneath to give it some help, huh? Cool. Way to go. All right, go. Have a seat. Oh, wait a minute. You've been a terrific help. I'm going to let you hang on that yo-yo. But you need to take the string off of your finger. Open the loop. No, don't do that. Don't roll it down. Open up the loop. See how your finger comes out really good? Now, put it in your pocket. You've got a pocket, right? Yeah, good. Excellent. Okay, go have a seat. Give him a hand. Nicely done, Mitch. All right. The reason that I was insistent that he put the yo-yo in his pocket and leave it there, where can you get in trouble playing with a yo-yo? Huh? At the library? At school? If the teacher's trying to teach and you've got your yo-yo out, you're being a distraction. What happens to distractions? They get confiscated. What's that mean? Taken away. And if it's taken away, it can't be any fun anymore, can it? So when you're in a crowd like this, where you don't have room, you're in a school or a library where the library is trying to read, or you're in school and it's teach, the yo-yo goes in your pocket. If you don't have a pocket because you get your sweats on, put it in your pack. If you don't have a pack or a pocket, put it down in your sock. Out of sight, out of mind. If you don't have a sock, you need to borrow somebody else's pocket. You want the yo-yo out of sight, out of mind, so that you're not going to get in trouble, okay? That's why the yo-yo needs to stay in your pocket for now. Now, Anything that you can reach with your yo-yo is inside of an area we refer to as a circle of danger. So when you're practicing, you don't want anything breakable inside the circle of danger. No TV set, no fish tank, no sister's head. Think about it. The worst trouble you can get in with a yo-yo is to injure somebody else with your yo-yo, right? Do not throw the yo-yo at anybody for any reason, please. Also, very important in yo-yoing, what am I doing now? This is not around the world. This is what I call 3-year-old yo-yoing, because any 3-year-old can do it. Doesn't take any skill or practice, does it? Is it dangerous? Yeah, somebody go walk in this windmill and get seriously injured, couldn't they? So the rule in yo-yoing is no 3-year-old yo-yoing. You see one of your buddies twirling the yo-yo around out of control, what you should do is say to them, 3-year-old, just once. It's not a tease. You're not trying to make them mad. You're trying to get their attention and explain to them that they're doing something you think is dangerous, and if they don't stop, they might get their yo-yo confiscated. Now, if they don't stop, that's not your problem. You did your job, walk away. If they don't stop, then they take the risk, okay? Now, what's this? That's around the world. See, a real yo-yo trick is when the yo-yo's going up and down the string, or it sleeps at the end and snaps back to your hand under control. So when I do this, that is a for real yo-yo trick. It's called around the world. Want to say it backwards? Yeah? Okay. Isn't that what you wanted to see? No. What you wanted to see is around the world frontwards, and then snap it around the world backwards. Oops. Even in competitions, we get a second try. Here we go. Also a little intimidated by this low ceiling. Around the world frontwards, around the world backwards. There we go. Or you can just throw it backwards and catch it through the subway. Here's 2 around the world. Here's 2 around the world. I'm going to be brave and try this. If I do 2 around the world and cross them over in the middle, it's called Eye of the Tornado. Watch close. Almost, huh? Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, what do you do when you get all done playing with your yo-yo? Put it in your pocket, right? Kind of like this. Okay, all the little guys stand up. Everybody stand up. Come on. Stretch up in the air, 2 hands, real tall, way up, stretch, stretch, stretch. Turn around 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now to make sure you're not dizzy, turn around the other direction. 1, 2, 3. Have a seat. Good job. All right. Now we're going to switch over and talk about science. Science we're going to talk about is called gyroscopic stability. Let's take the second word first, stability. Stability. If I stand here and I get braced, and I get set, and I say, bet you can't push me over, could one of you do it? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not. Not necessarily because I weigh over 200 pounds, but because I'm braced, I'm set, I'm stable. I do not want to be moved. Okay? Now, the stability, though, that we're talking about comes from gyroscopic action. If I have an object spinning in a plane, and it does not want to change its plane of spin, it has gyroscopic stability. Say it. Gyroscopic stability. This object does not want to change its plane of spin. Which plane is this spinning on? Say it louder. Good. Most people don't know. This is a plane, and this is a plane. What's this plane called? Vertical. This one is horizontal, diagonal. Very good. So if I have this object spinning in a vertical plane and it does not want to change its plane of spin, it has gyroscopic stability. You can balance it just by touching one side. Can I balance that if the wheel's not spinning? No, certainly not, because it no longer has gyroscopic stability. We're going to come back to that, but since we're talking about gyros, I'm going to show you this very valuable scientific instrument. Actually, it's a cheap toy, right? but it is a gyroscope. And if I take this gyroscope and I balance it between my fingers, and I let go of the top finger, what's going to happen? Fall over, won't it? I can't balance it on my finger, can I? What if I spin it? Think it'll stay? How many think it'll fall? How many think it'll stay? Good. What plane am I going to spin this on? Horizontal plane of spin. Not only can I balance it on my finger, I can balance it on that ballpoint pen. The reason is, when it's spinning, it has gyroscopic stability. It doesn't want to change its plane of spin, so I can balance it spinning horizontally, standing vertically. When they launched the Hubble telescope, wonderful space platform, going to take pictures of the other planets without going through the Earth's atmosphere. They had problems when they launched. They lost power. When they lost power, the system shut down. When the system shut down, they had to do something. So they sent up a rescue mission. And since the original launch, they've sent up 2 more rescue missions because some of the computer systems had aged out, some of the equipment had failed. They were about to send another rescue mission, but I don't think the shuttle's going to be ready for them pretty soon. On each of the rescue missions, one of the tasks is to restart the gyroscope. Because once you have this plane of reference, now you can aim the solar panels at the sun. The sun provides energy to the panels. The panels convert to electrical power, and electrical power powers up the systems, including the gyroscopes. So here's this cheap little toy demonstrating the scientific principle, critical, absolutely critical for space travel. Let's try something else. Anytime you get in an airplane, there are at least 3 gyroscopes helping the pilot fly and navigate the airplane. There's heading, there's attitude, there's roll rate, all of those things necessary to fly and navigate an airplane from one place to another. If I take this gyroscope and I balance it between my fingers and I let go of one side, what's going to happen? It's going to fall. What if I spin it? Going to fall? How many say it'll fall? How many say it'll stay? How many don't know? Let's talk. What plane am I going to spin this on? Vertical plane of spin. It doesn't fall. The reason it doesn't fall is because when it's spinning, it has gyroscopic stability. It doesn't want to change its plane of spin. Can I balance that on the string if it's not spinning? No, because it no longer has gyroscopic stability. Let's see, if you go on a ship that goes in the ocean, ocean waves used to roll the ship back and forth and make everybody seasick, right? Not anymore. They take a large gyroscope, put it down the bottom of the ship and get it spinning really fast. Acts like a stabilizer. Doesn't let the ship roll so much. Doesn't make everybody seasick. So here's this cheap little toy, again, demonstrating a scientific principle, critical, absolutely critical. Space, aviation, all kinds of things. Okay, let's try these toys. What have I got now? Frisbee and Aerobie. Those are the trade names, Aerobie and Frisbee. This is a flying disc. This is a flying ring. If I spin them, equal spinning energy, which one flies farther? The Frisbee? The Aerobie. How many say Frisbee? How many say Aerobie? How many don't know? Let's find out, okay? If we look at these in profile, which one is taller? The Frisbee is taller, isn't it? So as the Frisbee's flying along, it's pushing more air out of the way than does the Aerobie, which slides through the air more efficiently because it's so much thinner. Secondly, what's important? What's inside of this? What's inside of this? Plastic material, right? So as the Frisbee is flying along, there's air rubbing on the top and bottom of the center section, and that rubbing is called friction. Friction is slowing down the spin of the object. No friction in the middle of this one. Something else very important. I've got 2 dots on the Frisbee. Put my thumb on the 2 dots, give the Frisbee a spin. The 2 dots come back to my thumb at the same time. Are the dots traveling at the same speed? Yes? No? Huh? Well, let's think about it. If we're going to race to the door and I get to start here and you have to start up on the stage, don't you have to run faster to get back to the door at the same time as me? Yeah, same thing here. This dot has to go all the way around the outside of the Frisbee. This dot has a much shorter distance to travel in the same amount of time. So if something is traveling a longer distance in the same amount of time, it is traveling faster. So as much of the mass as you can put on that outer fast-moving perimeter, the more stable, the more efficient it becomes as a spin toy. Back to the original question, which one flies farther? The Aerobie, you bet. In fact, someone took one of these, went like that. 1,257 feet later, it landed. It's a big number, isn't it? Bet it doesn't mean much. Let's try it this way. How many feet are in a yard? 3 feet in a yard. How many yards on a football field? 100. How many feet on a football field? 300. How many 300s are there in 1,200? 4. Somebody took one of these, went like that, and 4 football fields later it landed. That means something, doesn't it, huh? It's a world's distance record for a flying ring. Okay, let's try this toy. Anybody know what that's called? It's a Throton. Throton is a soft rubber toy. It's made to teach small fingers how to throw a football. What do they tell you to put on a football when you throw it? Spiral, spin, right? NFL quarterback fades back, throws that long bomb, and the camera focuses in on the ball. Isn't it spinning in a really tight spiral? Well, it depends on the quarterback, but most of the time, okay? The reason that the quarterback can throw the ball so far, so fast, and so accurately is because when he gives it that spin, he gives it gyroscopic stability. It doesn't want to change its plane of spin, so it flies better, faster, longer, okay? Isn't this very much like a football? Huh? What's inside of this? What's inside of this? Same thing, right? Can I balance that on its point? What if I spin it? Yeah? If I give it some spin energy, gyroscopic stability makes it stand on its point. When the friction between the Frisbee and the football slow it down to where it no longer has that spin energy, then it falls over. Here again, cheap toy demonstrating a scientific principle, critical, absolutely critical. Space, aviation, all kinds of things. Okay, let's try these gyroscopes. What are these called? Tops, spin tops, right? If I spin these tops with equal spinning energy, which one spins longer? Very good. You've seen this program before, haven't you? No? Most people say the wooden one because it's heavier, but it's not the weight, it's the weight distribution. See, this one is like the Frisbee that has some of its energy stored in the slow-moving center mass. And this one's much more like the Aerobie. It has its energy in the outer fast-moving perimeter. So if you spin them with equal spinning energy, the one that spins longer is hollow. Hollow. Put as much of the mass as possible in the outer perimeter, more efficient, more stable as a spin toy. Now, can I balance this top in my hand? What if I spin it? You think? Okay, I'm going to start this one on the floor, but everybody stay seated because I'm going to pop it right up. The reason I can balance it in my hand, walk it down my arm, is because when it's spinning, it has... Told you you'd learn something today, didn't I? And oh, by the way, remember, anything that I talk about, if you want to find out more about it, all you have to do is ask the librarian, okay? Okay, let's see. Let me show you a couple more things with the spin top, just because I think it's a neat toy. It's something you cannot do in front of a CRT, you know, no TV or Game Boy. You've got to get up and move around to do this in the yo-yo. So I'm going to start this one off with boomerang, and I'll start it underneath my leg. Now I'm going to pass it over to my other hand, wrap the string around and do wire walker. Neat, huh? Let me do one more. This one's called carousel, you know, like a merry-go-round. The reason is, get it started, back in my hand, put the string around this side and go round and around and around and around it goes, huh? Think about it. Oh, and by the way, you don't have to learn to throw these spin tops with a string right away. we now have these power winders with a pull cable thing, a little peg on there and a little hole in the top. Put that peg in the top, put it in the Frisbee, give it a spin. Now we've got the top spinning around. We can pass it back and forth from the Frisbee to your hand. If we had a circle of friends, we could pass it from hand to hand to hand, see who has it when it drops, when it falls like hot potato, right? Cool game, huh? Here again, this cheap toy works because of the scientific principle called gyroscopic stability. Okay, let's see. What have I forgotten to talk about? Let me make sure I covered everything. Yep. Time for another victim. A volunteer. In the back with a hat on. Yeah, I need your long arms. Come on up here. What's your name? Alex. Nice to meet you, sir. Turn around so they can see your smiley face. Alex, what I need you to do is hold over the top on both sides. Really firm grip, right? Oh, you got it? Good job. Okay. What plane is this on? Vertical plane. Alex, can you make it horizontal that way? Good. Back up to vertical. Horizontal towards me. Horizontal the other way. Back up to vertical. Good job. Is that hard? Good. What if I spin it? It'll be harder? Might be harder? You think? You want to try? Good. We're going to spin it, so don't let it rub up against you. Don't let go because we don't want him to eat it. And please don't get your fingers caught in the spokes, okay? Good job. Here we go. That way. Whoop, back up to vertical. This side? Is it harder? It's a lot harder, isn't it? Back to vertical. If you go to a science museum, they have these experiments where you stand on a platform that swivels around. When you tipped it, it wanted to turn, didn't it? Okay? So if you tip it, it'll turn you around. You tip it the other way, it'll spin you back the other direction. Pretty cool experiment. Let's see what we can do here. Let go. How about that, huh? Good job. Give him a hand, okay? Thank you very much. Go ahead, have a seat. The reason he was having difficulty tipping it back and forth, the reason I can balance it on the string is because when it's spinning, it has... It's like you guys ride your bicycle down the road, and when you get to where you're going, you put on the brakes, and you come to a stop and you don't put your foot down, what happens? You fall over, don't you? I can't balance that bicycle if the wheels aren't spinning. Think about it, huh? Okay, well, let's see. We've had a science lesson, so now I guess it's time for a quiz, right? You guys get a quiz after every lesson? Good. I don't believe you, but that's good. Okay. I've got 3 quick questions, okay? The first question is, what's the most efficient spin shape? Say it. Make it 3-dimensional. Sphere, that's the word I'm looking for. A sphere, a ball, right? Now you have this solid sphere, this solid ball. You want to make it even more efficient as a spin toy. How do you manufacture? What do you do to it? Make it hollow. Put as much of the mass as you can on that outside perimeter, right? Think of the NBA basketball players. Take that basketball, give it a spin, balance it on their finger. Isn't that the most efficient spin toy? All of the mass is on that outer, fast-moving perimeter. And as long as it has that speed, it has gyroscopic stability, and it doesn't want to change its plane of spin, so it stays there, right? Third question comes out of the newspaper. Marilyn Vassavant writes an article for Parade magazine. It's in a whole lot of newspapers. They say that she has an IQ of about 228. What that means is she's really, really smart, you know, like genius level. So let's see, because people send her tricks and questions and riddles, and they try and stump her. So let's see if you guys can operate on her plane. From the newspaper, it said, 2 seemingly identical spheres, 2 balls, okay? They are the same size. They are the same shape. They are the same weight. They are the same color. They are coated with a special material so as to yield identical sound transmission characteristics. What did I just say? Identical sound transmission. What's that mean? If you tap on them, they make exactly the same sound. Right. Good job. Okay. So you have these two objects. They are identical in every way that you can perceive, but you are told one of them is solid, one of them is hollow. Without scientific instrumentation, without damaging either one, how do you tell the difference? What? Spin them. And when you spin them, which one spins longer? The hollow one. Great. Give yourself a hand. Good job. How many could answer that question? How many could answer that question a half hour ago? Think about it, huh? Well, since you got all three questions, I'm going to give you a bonus. Anybody know what this toy is called? Yeah? No? Some people call this a Chinese yo-yo. I prefer the term Diablo. Diablo is a juggler's prop. It's supposed to be stable in the string. Is this stable? What do I have to do to make it stable? Spin it. Okay. Told you to learn something, didn't I? So if I get it spinning, and I get it up to speed, it becomes stable in the string. Now I can do tricks with it, kind of like a yo-yo that's not attached to the string, like this. If I can go around the arm, maybe around the leg. Yeah, like this. Thank you. Thank you. Well, let's see. The arm, the leg, maybe a foot. The hard part of this is standing on the other foot. Here we go. Up to speed. The foot in the string and go zip. Diddy-doo-da. Ah, cool, huh? Now, thank you. If we were outside, and I was a really great Diablo player, I could throw this thing hundreds of feet in the air and catch it, but we're not outside. So what I'm going to do is explain to you, you know when you get a knot in your yo-yo string? You know why they call that a knot? Because it's not supposed to be there. So what I'm going to do is tie a magic knot in the Diablo string, and since it's not supposed to be there, I'll make it disappear. Watch. See, there's the knot. It's not there. Did I do that too fast? Huh? Thank you. Let me turn it around so you can see it a little better. Going to get it quickly up to speed. Watch. There's the knot. It's not there. Isn't that cool? Thank you. Now, one of the things when you're performing tricks in front of people is make sure that you have practiced enough so that you can do the trick consistently, right? Well, a buddy of mine taught me a combination, and I've been practicing, and I think I'm ready to do it in public. Let's see what happens, okay? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it up and over that stick, back up. Whoa. Maybe I better practice one more time. Let's see. Here we go. Up to speed. Yep. All right, now, up and over that stick, back up and on the string, over this stick, around here, back there, up and here, back on the string again like that, huh? Okay. It's all fun. It really is. A lot of fun. Okay, again, I remind you that anything that I talked about today, if you want more information about anything, go ask the librarian, because they are the font of all knowledge. They can get you to where you need to go to understand everything you want to think about. I've enjoyed this. I hope you have. When I do my school program, I tell the kids at the end of the day, you know, when you go home at night and your parents say, what'd you learn today? You tell them, nothing, right? When you go home after my program, the parents say, what'd you learn today? You tell them, gyroscopic stability, and guaranteed your parents will say, huh? But you can explain it, because you saw me use the toys, and you parents cheated because you were here. But I've enjoyed this, and I hope you have.